Social anxiety is one of the most taboo subjects in the mental health space, and there's not a lot of people talking about it. And it's probably because it can be quite shaming to admit the fact that you have social anxiety. It can be extremely embarrassing. And from my perspective, when I first started trying to understand it or trying to overcome it, it would make me feel weak, and it would make me feel less than people. And I was really ashamed of it. I always wanted to portray to people that I was confident, and I would get in social situations and I would try and act confident and like try and portray myself as someone. And then when I would get away from that social situation, it would be this constant mill of just beating myself up because I didn't portray myself like this. What about if this person thinks I'm weird and awkward? Oh, why am I so socially anxious? Why does the anxiety rise when I have to have a simple conversation with someone? And it goes on and on and on. And so it can be really hard to admit to yourself and to admit to others that social anxiety is something you experience. And then you go into the online space and there's not a whole lot of people talking about it. And when people do talk about it, they do generally come from a place of trying to fix your social anxiety, how can you overcome it? How can you improve your confidence? And again, this just reinforces the fact that there is something to fix within you. There's something that's not good enough within you. And that in itself is a shame response. It's shaming yourself into improvement, and that perpetuates the anxiety response. So if you've got social anxiety, in my opinion, it's something deep within you that's splitting your authentic self from coming out into the world and meeting it as you are. So say if you're in a conversation with someone, there is something within you, whether it's come from childhood or traumas, past experiences, that is like fragmenting and splitting you from preventing that person from seeing you as you are, because on some level of your psyche it's afraid that who you are is not good enough. It's scary to share who you are. It's scary to be seen as you are. And so there's a fragmentation, there's a splitting in the psyche, and it becomes a defense of your authentic personality, and it creates a neurosis. In psychoanalytical terms, it creates a defense that stops you from being seen, and it's kind of like a micro suffering instead of just dealing with the fact of meeting the world as it is. And so when people come from this place of trying to fix social anxiety, it really can be damaging. And so what would I recommend? And when I contemplate on my experience of social anxiety from where I am now to where I come from, like I'm very socially confident now. Social anxiety is not something that I really experience. And from where I came from to the point where like I couldn't even like speak to people, I couldn't say hello to people. Like simple eye contact would send me into a complete flight response of like my increased heart rate. It'd be like I was having a panic attack. My mind would start racing, my palms would start sweating, my hands would be in and out my pockets. Like I would just feel so uncomfortable, and I'd feel like I was really awkward and scatty and had to be really like fast paced. And if you've had social anxiety before, you realize it's a fast paced response. It's a flight response. It wants you to run, and so everything feels like enhanced in terms of like you have all this energy and jittery and you need to move. And that's what social anxiety is. It's a flight response. Whereas I think about now, when I get a social situation, it's very slow. It's very deliberate. I'm okay with pauses and silence, and I'm okay just expressing who I am. And I'm not so concerned about portraying who I want them to see. I'm just being me. And then you kind of get lost in it. You're not here somewhere questioning it, watching yourself, like questioning, is this person thinking this of me? Am I holding my body language correctly? Am I standing up straight? Do they think I'm ugly? Do they think I'm being weird? That doesn't happen. Like you're just there where your feet are and you're just looking at the person, and like the conversation just flows naturally, and it just kind of something emerges in you and the conversation unfolds instead of you having to be up here, like looking at yourself, questioning it. And that's the difference. If you are extremely socially anxious now, I can tell you the difference between being confident in yourself and being socially anxious is being where you are versus being somewhere up here and watching yourself and analysing yourself. You're not analysing when you're analysing when you're socially anxious. You're not analysing when you're confident. And so it's like an expression. It's more of an authentic expression. And so when I do think about social anxiety, and I hit on this topic before, it really is kind of inextricably woven into your being, and it's preventing you from meeting the world as you are. And for some reason in your childhood or when you was growing up, or just from the experiences you've had, the beliefs that you've accumulated, the the family relationships. Something's happened that has developed in your psyche that has sent an indicator to that who you are is not good enough. Who you are is not safe to be out into the world, and your psyche has like created this defense mechanism to defend who you are because it doesn't feel safe in the world. And so then it's called a neurosis, that thing that goes, that questioning, that protection, that defense mechanism who's trying to defend your actual authentic being is neurotic. It's causing you to not be in the world as you are, and it's splitting your personality. And that's what's to deal with here. It's not to fix that, but it's to understand and name the neurosis, to name the part of you that's trying to protect and defend you, because it's doing it from a good place. At some part in your life, through the experiences that you went through, part of your psyche believed that it needed to create this defense to protect you, because maybe you didn't get empathically loved by your parents, or maybe you didn't have a good childhood, maybe you just didn't socially fit in, and with your limited knowledge at that part of your life, you had to create defense. You had to create a way to deal with all this. My dog's just come in, guys. Here we are. You're right, Duds. You join in the social anxiety talk. And so maybe part of you at some point had to create that defense, had to create a different personality to protect you, to make you operate in the world. But now you don't have to live that out. And the good thing with becoming mature, the good thing with becoming aware and older, is you can learn these and name them, and you can get back closer to your authenticity. You can get back closer to who you are, and that can express in the world in a more natural way. And so it's the big thing that happened to me, the big real change, was just being able to name this neurosis, to name the part of me that was protecting me, that was making me socially anxious. And then I started realizing that this wasn't just in social situations. This was in everything I was doing. Social anxiety isn't a thing. It's not something that happens to you. It is inextricably woven into the fabric of who you are. And it's a deep part of your psyche that's been created because you don't feel safe out in the world, and you don't accept who you are. And when I started to name that, when I started to realize that social anxiety was happening, and with a bit of mindfulness, I was like, wow, this is that part of me again. My dog is going absolutely mad here, guys. He's like got my, he keeps nibbling my jumper and then just like ragging it around. When I started to, Duds, sit down, no biting. Dudley, no biting. No biting. Good boy. When I started to realize it and become mindful of it, and I was like, wow, there's a neurosis. There's a part of me that isn't okay with expressing who he truly is. And he wants to be confident, and he wants to come across like something he's not. When I started realizing that, I was like, wow, I don't need to give into that. I don't need to feed it. Because when you're unaware of it and when you're feeding it, it's preventing you from being who you are. And you're being the who you think you are. You're being the neurosis instead of the authentic you of who you actually are. And the more you can become aware of it, the more you can start naming it and realizing when it's happened, and meeting it with empathy and looking at it with empathy and kind of digesting it in a way that okay, this is my neurosis. This is the anxiety. Here it goes again. I wonder why it's going today. And then you can dive into what experiences have you had, what's happened to elicit that response, and then you can start questioning it. But you need to be able to name it and look at it and realize it's something apart from you. It's not actually who you are. It's been created in your psyche as a defense, as a protection. And when you come at it from a place of, wow, at some part in my life it really helped me, then you'll this dog is nuts, then you'll get a lot of value from it. So I think I'm going to end the video here, guys, because Dudley's going on a mad one. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next video.